Hello, and welcome back. It's only been a couple days since I released 2.5 of the Pit Fan mod, but there's been a couple developments that I think warrant an immediate release, so I'm going to be patching out 2.5.1. And in this release, if you've watched my Let's Play, you'll know most of these that are coming up, but I've got a few new ones too. Okay. First off, the duplication and metabolic control have officially been removed. And there are some very nice quality of life mods. Here we can see that the mouse wheel should work correctly in basically any list that you could use them. If you're using a crafting station, it'll work there too. We have mouse overs for various skills and stats. I tried to include as many helpful tips as I could in the stats, since many mechanics are fairly hidden in the game. There's an alternate form of resting called sleeping, which with Control-Shift-X, you can see goes much faster. If you can get to a place where there are no enemies around, it goes like that. If creatures are moving, it's only maybe 1 or 2 times faster than normal resting. Finally, for the quality of life mods, I increased the map size. So this should be especially helpful for trying to figure out what kind of room something is by the symbol, or if you have a smaller monitor. One not so nice thing for players is that radiation is now actually dangerous. It only drops by 1 per tick now instead of 3, so it lasts 3 times as long. So you may not want to drop those damper patches. There's the new gravity manipulator, which allows you to wield heavy weapons without heavy armor, and this is craftable. There's also a recipe for the laser sword. Using adaptive crystals, just in time for the next Star Wars film. There is a change now to the way that armor damage is calculated. So the original logic in the game is that when you're hit by something, it decides what part of your armor to hit. You know, say you actually have gloves and a helmet on. It would preferentially look at the armor, but if by chance it did target your gloves or your helmet or your boots, it would weigh the penetration of the weapon against just the armor class of that particular item. So if you got hit in the helmet, you would almost always take durability damage. The way I've changed it is that it now looks at your entire armor class value, which means there should be less reason to constantly take off and put on your quantum scan helmet, your speed boots, that sort of thing. I may in the future drop the AC values of those accessories, since they no longer need it to ward off armor damage. But for now, it should be an entirely positive change for the player. What else? I did change the logic so that weapons that didn't have a race specified, originally they were specified as human, now it's none. And I've gone in and made some of the more obviously human ones human again. I mean, this one, any of the ones that mention Soul Force in them will be human. But weapons like the blade, the adamantium sword, those sort of ones. Simple melee ones I'm going to leave as not having a racial component, and so all races can use them equally well. Okay, let me check my list here. I believe that's it. There's a few more small items. There's now a paralysis ray in the game. I forgot to add it to my inventory, but it looks like a stun ray, I believe. But it has a chance of paralyzing. So it should be a fun one to play around with. And a small nerf to Osmoids. They don't drop nearly as many as much adamantium as they originally did. I'd like to keep adamantium as a rare component. Anyway, that is all the changes. I know I'm pretty excited about them, and I hope everyone has fun with them as well. Have a good day, and I will see you next time.